Yeah, good morning students. Now we are going to see the subject Highway Engineering Unit 1 Highway Planning and Alignment. In the last class we have seen what are all the committees we have been formed and what is the purpose they have been formed, mentioning for the taxes, some of the specifications we have seen. So these are the introduction before the previous class. These are the topics we have seen. The next topic is what are all the classifications of roads and how the roads have been classified depending upon some of the factors they have been choosing. First factor is depending upon the weather. The weather plays a major role among the classifications of roads because at the morning the sun, which is very hotter, that directly replaces in the road, so that the road might be very hot. At the night time we have seen the climate might be cool, so sudden changes that occurs in the road where the heating takes place because of the sun, and the other sudden temperature changes. So depending upon the weathers, the road climate conditions was also be described. The road might get some damages, or the sudden rainfall occurs. For example, in that morning time the sun rises heavily, where we can feel hot. At the mid of the day, the sudden cloud changes and the rain may occur. So while the bitumen is very hot due to the temperature of sun, after the rain occurs, it suddenly comes under cool temperature. So depending upon that extreme condition, some of the road may have damaged, or some of the cracks may be occur. So these are some of the problems we may arises in this uh, factors. This highway, depending upon the weather, plays a major role in this first one, and the second one is depending upon. So based on this, depending upon the type of carriageway, and the carriageway is the road which is travels. So based on the carriageway is the way where the vehicle or something else that travel during the dimensions. It might be a 3 meter issues. So these are all comes under this travel way. The based on this carriageway, the one is paved roads and the other one is unpaved roads. So paved road means it has a smooth finishing, where it is called a bitumen roads, whereas unpaved road means it might be a mixing of a wet mix, combination of sand and stones, or coarse aggregates. These are all comes under this unpaved roads. The third one is depending upon the surface. One is surface roads and the other one is unsurfaced roads. Where the unsurfaced roads comes under the uneven roads, which is meant for some temporary roads. These are comes under this unsurfaced road. Next one is this classifications of highways. Based on this highways classifications, their factors are: one is traffic, the second one is load, and the third one is based on the location. So these classifications of highways that comes under this traffic volume. If the traffic is more, it takes more time to cross that particular road. So to avoid this meant we have chosen this highway like that. They have proposed some plans towards the government. The second one is load. For example, lorries, huge lorries or trucks that carries enormous amount of huge loads. Uh, Based on these loads, they cannot travel inside the cities, because might be cause some traffic, some of them else. So based on these loads and their classifications and their tonnage, these highways classified. And the third one is based on their location. This plays a major role. That we are using this highways. These are all comes under this based on their locations. And this one is also called as Nagpur road plan. Based on the cities, what are all the connected cities that are traveling through this. These are all comes under this locations and functions. The first one is SH. SH means state highway. This is the state highway which is connected with the district roads. That is the second one. MDR, that is major district roads. These are interconnected with ODR. This is other district roads, and the other one is, the last one is village roads. While we are starting up this from this village roads, we are connecting towards this other district roads, and the third one is major district roads, and the fourth one is state highway. These are the planning. According to this plan, the village roads are connected with the other district roads. For example, nearby your villages, that is connected towards the district road, and the third one is major district road. These roads are connected towards only the major cities, and the other one is state highways. These are interconnected with their states. These roads are, so these are the based on their locations and functions they have been chosen this. uh, the next one is how the classifications are modified among because of their highways. One is primary classification, and the second one is secondary, and the third one is tertiary. In this primary classifications, we have two things. One is expressways, and the other one is national highways. In this expressways, these routes are connected towards their metropolitan cities, huge cities, where the speeds have been defined more than these three. Comparing to these three, for example, national highways, the speed should be maximum 80, but in these expressways the speed might be 120 or something else. So like that, to decrease the time, to increase the speed, they have chosen. So the next simple advantages is they are connecting towards the major cities or metropolitan cities. So these road might be broad, narrow, and wider, while comparing these three. The second one is national highways. While we are traveling the NH, these are all comes under this modification. The second one is second state highway, where these roads are comparing to the national highways. These roads are smaller. This is only a two-lane road where we are going in one direction and we are coming in this opposite direction. But in the national highways, these are four-lane roads where two lanes are for going towards, and the two lanes are coming towards. These are all the specifications. And the third one is tertiary, ODR, other district roads and village district roads. In this classifications, we have some city roads, where these urban roads are comes under the cities we are using. So first one is drive, Artel roads. The second one is Subaratorial, collector, local streets. These three are comes under the major comes under this urban road classifications. One is Artel roads. In that city we are particularly traveling towards the main road, comes under this arterial roads. The second one is subarterial roads. These roads are interconnected with that Artel roads. Uh, for example, a small streets that connected towards the main road comes under this Artel roads. And the third one is collector. These road is interconnected with these two subarterial roads and arterial roads. For example, if our house is in the street, we are saying that street name something else, that comes under this local street. For example, if we are in this local street, we have to come towards the collector road, which road is interconnected with this local street. The second one is, after reaching this collector roads, we are taking the another road called subarterial roads. These are interconnected with arterial and the collector streets. After the subarterial roads, while we are traveling, enter into the next main road called arterial roads. These are the combinations that we have classified in the urban roads classifications. The next one is road patterns. Based on this road patterns, we have chosen that city. For example, Roundana, we are saying that Roundana. These are all comes under this radial circular pattern, radial or star circular pattern. In this circular, the Roundana is purposely meant for that controlling the traffic at the adjoining roads. Four joins together, this comes under this Roundana. So while traveling this, to avoid collision or accident, the Roundana has been placed. This is one type. And the other one is, these are the patterns. Around is rectangular pattern, four joins come together. There is one rectangular shaped pattern where the signal places. So some of the patterns, and based on this patterns, the cities has been drawn. For example, Madurai is one of the circular pattern city. if we enter into that any street, we can able to come and catch the Artel Roads. So these are the patterns that have been developed. Some of the patterns based on the cities and their usage, the patterns might be different to avoid the traffic, to avoid the collisions. um, these patterns have been particularly minted. So classifications of roads. These are the roads that statistics says that how many expressways 200 kilometers in our city or in our state. The next one is national highways. These are totally this kilometer based on their that year survey, not now. In the year previous years, based on this survey, the national highways and these are being meant. So these are the highways where the state highway is more than 1000 lakhs. State highways comes under this 1 lakh kilometer, and the major district roads comes under this 4 lakhs, and the rural and other roads comes under this 26 something else. So these are the roads based on their survey we have been chosen. So here there is an explanation what are all the expressways, what are all the major district roads, what are the other district roads. This comes under this expressways. It heavy traffic at the speed of 120 kilometer per hour. To reduce the traffic, these expressways has been meant where the land width is 90 meter. While constructing these expressways, we need 90 meter of that land. Full access control is by government, and the other one is connecting all the traffic points or generations. No slow moving traffic is allowed. No slower vehicles or slow traveling vehicles is not meant for this expressways, and there is no loading or parking or landing. Something is no loading or unloading or parking in this type of roads because it is purely meant for the speed. If we are loading or unloading in this particular places, the accident may or collisions may be happen. So to avoid this, the these are the avoidance we are chosen. The next one is called the national highways, where the area covered by the, we are saying NH7 like that. To avoid the, this national highway is purely meant for to avoid the traffics and the proper traveling. We are saying NH, the longest NH is UP to Kanyakumari. It is one of the southernmost point. This is mainly meant for the speed and their avoid traffic and the avoid accidents and the collision, because it is a 4 lane road where the traffics and something else have been avoided. This comes under the lane might be differ. So these are all comes under this national highways. The next one is state highways. In this state highways, there are connecting with the roads called the national highways and the other district roads. These comes under this state highways. The total length of the SH is overall 1 lakh like that. So these state highways interconnected with the district roads and the headquarters. So these are all comes under the state highways. The next one is major district roads. In these roads, they are serving with the other district roads and the village roads. The overall kilometer of MDR is there approximately 4,70,000. So these are meant by the service. Now with the developments and the other activities, it might be surely increase. So these are all comes under this major district roads. The next one is other district roads, where these roads are connected with the VR called the village roads and the major district roads and the state highways. This is the other district roads that are interconnected with all the um, roads. The next one is village roads. It is connected with only the ODR or the MDR. Other district roads are major district roads. These village roads are particularly smaller in nature while comparing to the other roads, where the each and other nearest roads comes under this. In our cities, this is the most highest survey. The length of these roads comes under this village roads, because our cities are Tamil Nadu that are interconnected only with the villages. So the roads, village roads are comes under this. So this diagram represents the movement and their functions of the roads, how the roads are being defined. These comes under this. Local streets are interconnected with the collector and the other Artel roads. This is the classifications of urban roads, where the, while I am saying that the cities roads are connected with these roads. This diagram shows the interconnections of their cities and their movements and their functions. The next one is based on the Artel roads, their specifications, their design speeds has been defined here. First one is Artel, where the street roads called, where the speed might be 80 kilometer and the land width might be 60 meter. So spacing might be 1.5. The distance of these two roads might be. Their specifications and their choosens have been chosen in this Artel roads. The next one is Subaratorial roads, where the Subaratorial roads kilometer is speed might be 60 kilometer, where the Artel road speed might be 80 kilometer per hour, where the Subaratorial roads kilometer might be 60. While going into the city, into the road, the speed might be differ. The width might be 30 to 40 meter. And the next one is collector streets. These are the streets or residential normal streets we are seeing. So these streets comes under this 50 kilometer per hour. The speed might be based on this design speed. We won't travel in the street means we have to travel based on this kilometer per hour 20, where the subaerial means 40, where the aerial means 50. And these are the ranges, but their design speed, road design speed might be 50 kilometer per hour. This is the local street, where the street might be 30 kilometer, where the traffic is more. The speed might be always lower, and the width of the road also 10 to 20 meter. So this comes under this local street. So these are the things in this class I have to clarify. So in this class we have seen what are all the classifications of roads, how the roads are classified based on their locations, based on their functions, and based on their locations. Okay, thank you.